don't know what the issue is, but I think that, you're
Think
calling.
that you know you're calling and not being very nice to my staff. Oh. Right from the start, the judge is throwing shade about not being nice. In court, tone matters. Do you think this defendant is digging a hole already?
Not being very nice to my staff.
Me and her had a good conversation. I mean, the lady, she said she was even going to try to help me. She even want to told me come today. That's how I got the information.
You weren't supposed to be here today. We gave you a date
Yeah, but we're
of
not.
December 16th.
Yeah, but
for
when
the,
I called and I explained to her that I won't be here, I won't have nowhere to stay while I'm here, and I told her, she said, bring my information, my documents that I had to prove that I had eviction and I was moving back home to my mom. So how can I be here on December 16th if I'm leaving on the 15th?
You've got this case open, right? So you can't just
I know that's.
move and leave without taking care of this first,
I know, but that was already arranged. That's why I called and did due diligence to say, hey, how do I go about this process?
Okay, so you need a lawyer, right? We spoke about that last time.
That's why I brought everything to show that I have an eviction. How can I pay for a lawyer? I don't even have the money for one. And
If I remember last time you came here, you said you have your own business. You've got
because I have business, that
four
doesn't mean
trucks.
money. Yeah,
that
I
you've
did,
got.
but I'm here because the guy who I'm here for ruined that truck, totaled the
Now
truck.
charged with terroristic threat. That's fine. You've been filed on for this case. Whoa, terroristic threat? That escalated quickly. Remember, that doesn't always mean bombs or violence, it can be threats serious enough to put others in fear for their safety. But still, heavy charge.
And I don't have it. I never got it back. That's why I'm here. My livelihood was ruined by the guy that I'm here for.
Now charged with terroristic threat.
That's fine.
You've been filed on for this case.
I just came here to respectfully see how can I go about the process that a person, when I called, a rep told me to do this. So I came here to respectfully go about the process the right way, so I don't miss court. Paper says if you can't make it to do your due diligence, so I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm not getting the, I guess, response or help. I don't know.
Okay, so you work now currently, right?
My livelihood, no, my livelihood, my work was my truck. It is ruined, it is gone. I have no work. The guy I was here for that worked with me crashed and totaled my truck, which means my work, my only livelihood, my business is ruined.
What were you doing before?
I had my business for 6 years.
Doing what?
Running a commercial fleet service, 26-foot box trucks.
Okay, and how much money were you making a month?
Monthly, after pay, I would say maybe.
Also have out of Mississippi. Also have a real estate license. I'm not a dumb, stupid, or slow. This is an emotional pivot. He's defending his reputation, his education, his career. What do you think, genuine frustration, or trying to sway sympathy from the judge?
$8,000, and that's including paying for the truck note, truck insurance, and rent.
Okay, so how much money do you make now a month?
I haven't made money since he trashed my truck, which was what, September 28th or something like that?
So you tell me you've been out of work since
I have
September,
been getting help
now
from
in
my mom.
November?
I've been out, I don't have work, I had a business.
How do you support yourself now?
Family is helping me, which is why I say I'm going back home to my mother who's helping me. I
Okay,
worked
so
very hard in my life. I'm not a dummy. I have degrees. I worked very hard in my life. I worked for American Red Cross. I also have a phlebotomist Mississippi. I also have a real estate license. I'm not dumb, stupid, or slow. You're not talking to no one who's sitting here in front of you claiming something. I've worked hard in my life with the American Red Cross for 12 years. Not dumb, stupid, or slow. I opened a business. I started a business, and the man ruined my business. And I'm here for free. Yes, I did. If you call it a terrorist there, call it what you want. Someone ruined my livelihood that I worked very hard for, would not return it. I don't have the keys to my livelihood. $72,000 truck with a loan still on it that I still have to pay for. I don't have it.
I can give you an application for an appointed lawyer. We need you to fill it out. Don't just put zeros. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, how many cars you have, house, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, IRAs. Just fill it out and I'll take a look if you qualify. And if you qualify.
Again, if I'm not going to be here, I have an eviction. I don't know what more you need to see if you need me to miss court because I'm not going to be here or be sleeping on the street. I don't know if that's what you want from me. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I went to school to plan to live my life. I don't know if you want me here living on the street. make it to court December 16th, but again, if I have an eviction that I brought to you from a community complex, a legal document, where do you want me to take it to?
At this point in the game, it's lawyer. You need a lawyer. I've told you that you need to go hire one. Classic courtroom reality check. Judges can't give legal advice. Their job? Point you toward representation. Question for you: if you were in this defendant's shoes, would you gamble by going solo or push for a court-appointed lawyer?
December 16th.
You can't just take off.
I did not say that. That's why I am here to ask you the correct procedure. That's why I am here. I came here to ask you to do my due diligence, so I don't just take off. I could have a million people just take off. I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm just not getting the proper, I guess, or respectful
Hey,
response.
I don't appreciate your passive aggressive.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do my due diligence, and you're just saying, I don't know.
I know that you're touting the due diligence word, and I've told you also repeatedly that you need a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer can give you guidance. I cannot. I can't give you legal advice. I cannot give you guidance. I can only tell you that you need a lawyer, what you're charged with, what you're facing, the bond conditions that you have. At this point in the game, it's lawyer. You need a lawyer. I've told you that you need to go hire one. You're telling me that you don't have money, that you've not worked since September. So the next stage is I give you an application to fill out. And I'm going to give you an application to fill out, but don't give it to me with all zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. Just fill it out honestly, fill it out thoroughly, and I'll take a look whether you qualify. And if you do, I'll provide you with a court-appointed lawyer. But you got to understand, in this life, the way that you've acted to me, the way that you've threatened the staff, the way that you've threatened my coordinator on the phone, in this life, you get
Your coordinator, I had a very good conversation.
Your only discussion was with the judge.
you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
I'm sorry, can I say something? Me and the coordinator had very good conversation. So what coordinator did you spoke to that told you that? Because we had a good conversation and she just said no. I had a very good conversation with the coordinator who actually told me, no, come up here tomorrow. I said, I can come next. She said, no, come tomorrow. If I was you, gave me correct steps. So I don't know. It wasn't Latoya Furlow. I don't appreciate that part because I've never had an incorrect conversation with anyone on the phone. And I called one time and got that information one time.
Ma'am, Mr. Furlow. It's not your turn to say anything. Just please, you have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right, and there it is, the be quiet moment. Courts run on order. Ever notice how often defendants talk themselves into more trouble just by oversharing?
Mr. Dean, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. You've missed court. You've paid an out-of-county bond. Every time you miss court, we issue a warrant. And all you do is end up enriching bonding companies every time you miss court. That's all you're doing. So if you like to throw money away, keep missing court.
That was a mistake. That was my part.
I'm letting you know, every time you miss, we issue a warrant, and every time it triples or quadruples. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the next time it's probably going to get hit 5,000 plus.
I understand.
Now, do you have a lawyer today? You need a lawyer to represent you in this case. You're facing quite a bit of time, not to mention collateral consequences with a conviction like this. So
Ask me to bring your driver's license, a new driver's license, and a copy of my insurance.
okay, that is to be able to drive, but you still need a lawyer to represent you in this case. Have you sought out or reached out to any lawyers?
Yeah, but
Have you hired a lawyer yet?
No.
You need to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you time for you to do that. We're going to reset your case for a month. We need you to go out, reach out to lawyers, and when you come back, you need to have a lawyer representing you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Can you run his license to see if it's valid?
Yes, Judge.
And then do you mind grabbing his insurance? What kind of car was this driving? Alex, please.
Let me pull up the.
So this card, you're only covered on a 2007 Chevy Suburban. You understand that? So that's the only car that you can drive. So don't drive any other car. Do you understand that? All right, I will take off the. Bless you. Bless you. I will take off the bail condition that you can't drive. You're now allowed to drive. Make sure that it's that car. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we're going to get you out of here. And when you come back, please have a lawyer. Don't miss court again because your bond is just going to go a lot higher. You understand? Okay, sir. Please. Got it.
All right, Judge, page 12, Fontenelle.
He's present on council, Judge. May we approach? Of course.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good, how are
You should have let us know. We would have hit you first, you know? I didn't realize you were here on an random.
Being patient. This is home fun.
Good morning, Mr. Fontenot. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 17th, 2024, the officer responded to a medical assistance call at a public roadway in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle stationary in a moving lane of traffic. The defendant was asleep in the driver's seat of the vehicle while it was still in drive. The officer observed 3 open containers inside the vehicle in plain view, all of which were cold to the touch.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge, all cold to the touch. And after several attempts at waking the defendant, the officer broke the back passenger side window and placed the vehicle in park. When the defendant woke up, the standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. DIC were read, but the defendant refused. Blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Any priority to be eyes?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fontenot, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You're not allowed to drive for the foreseeable future. Do you understand? And I would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. If I find that you consume alcohol, if I find that you use illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. And I don't care if Jesus needs a ride to church. You get into a car and drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mike, when I know that he appreciates the awesome power and privilege it is to drive, I will allow him to drive. But until that point, and you coming up here telling me, oh, I've learned my lesson, means nothing to me. Actions speak louder than words.
I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand that's the hammer? Driving without a license isn't just a ticket, it stacks jail time. Imagine being 19, losing your car keys, and your whole freedom feels tied up with it. Tough lesson.
Heed this warning. You will not get another one. Do not drive. Do you understand?
In particular, the court wants him to do to demonstrate that.
I don't know. You know, creativity goes a long way, but I want you to appreciate what it is to be able to drive. Living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand? And I want you to appreciate that and understand that. I'd like a little bit of time in the past. You know, a little creativity goes a long way. But, you know, how old are you, sir?
He's 19.
You're 19 years old. What are you doing with yourself these days, Mr. Fontenot?
I currently work in Conroe. I'm a diesel mechanic, so.
He's employed full-time and he's never been in trouble, Judge, just for what it's worth.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
You need to understand that your life is just now starting. And what you make of your life now, it's like, it's a road, right? That you're building in your life now. That road can be smooth, it can be glorious, paved in gold, or it could be a chunky, rocky piece of crap pot, just cobbled stone that are filled with holes because you're in and out of jail. Just, you're setting yourself up for the next 40 years of life. And if you end up in and out of jail with conviction after conviction, with drug problem after drug problem, it's not a good way to go through life. This life is about money and it's about this. Do you understand? And I want you to appreciate all this. And when I know that we do, then you and I can talk again. Above all else, do not consume alcohol. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Trent, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, violate conditions, don't stay in contact. We're not going to have a good experience here. If you do as you should, then hopefully we'll come out of this unscathed. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, guys. I'll have him sign the affidavit. We'll have him go sign a receipt of Victoria. You'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Judge, please, the court, I'll probably bring him back in about 30 days, just so you can check his progress.
Certainly can. Let's see how things are going. But him coming up here and just saying that I missed my license, I want to see some kind of proactivity.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Trent.